All right. Good morning, brothers and sisters. This morning I'm going to read Luke chapter 6, verse 22 and 23. It says, "Blessed are ye when men shall hate you, and when they shall separate you from their company." Remember, we're on the topic of separation at the moment, since yesterday for sure. It says, "Blessed are ye when men shall hate you, and when they shall separate you from their company, and shall reproach you, and cast out your name as evil for the Son of Man's sake." All right. We're going to look at this. It says, blessed. Blessed are ye. We're going to look at blessed to begin with. It's makarios. Blessed, to be envied. It says, to make or become large properly when a God extends his benefits, the advantages he confers. This describes a believer in an enviable, fortunate position from receiving God's provisions and favor. Okay. So receiving God's provisions and favor, you should be happy. It says, "Blessed are ye when men shall hate you, and when they shall separate you from their company." We're going to look up that word separate. This is a good one right here. And I'm going to go through a couple other words once we go through this word. And when men shall separate you from their company. It's the word aphorizó. Remember the word proorizó. I'll go through it here in just a second. This is a different word. It's a combination of apo and horizo. And it means to rail off, to separate, to place apart. Aphorizó, from apo, separated from, and horizo, to make boundaries. Properly, to separate from a boundary, i.e. a previous condition or situation. I'm going to go down here. It says to mark off by boundaries, i.e. set apart. Okay. To set apart. All right. It says, "Blessed are ye when men shall hate you, and when they shall separate you from their company, and shall reproach you and cast out your name as evil for the Son of Man's sake." It says, "Rejoice ye in that day, and leap for joy." This is when people are casting your name out as evil and when they are hating you. Rejoice and leap for joy. For behold, your reward is great in heaven. For in the like manner did their fathers unto the prophets. Okay, we're going to go and we're going to look. We've just looked at separate, which is the word aphorizó. It's to move apart. Let's go over here and let's look at the word. We're going to look at the word death. This is the word thanatos. It's not in this section, but I just pulled it up so we could look at the word death. And remember, it's the word we're talking about, a separation, okay? Death, physical or spiritual. Remember, death is a separation. So when men separate you from their company, are they not putting you to death? Remember, you have to have a daily cross. You have to have a daily cross, or you cannot. That qualitatively negates the fact. Like, you cannot be a disciple of Christ if you do not have a daily cross. And you cannot give yourself a daily cross. Whenever you are put on a cross, you have to be condemned to a cross. That means other people have to separate you from their company in a physical way, whether by actually killing you or physically removing themselves from your company. Thanatos, physical or spiritual death. It says figuratively separation. And it goes in here, right here, which is an amazing description of this. Separation from the life, salvation of God forever by dying without experiencing death to self to receive his gift of salvation. Death to self. We're going to go look over here. Death of the body, separation, whether natural or violent. Let's go look down here further. Since the netherworld, the abode of the dead was conceived of as being very dark. Remember, ye are children of the light, not children of darkness. So when children of darkness separate you from their company, what are they doing? It is equivalent to the region of thickest darkness, i.e., figuratively, a region enveloped in darkness of ignorance and sin. Okay, so remember, we're talking about death and separation. Okay? So we're going to go over here to this next one. We're going to go to proorizó. This is the word that God said. It says, for whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his Son. Romans 8:28. For whom he did foreknow, proorizó. Remember, that was the other one we looked at a minute ago, aphorizó. This is to predetermine, to foreordain or predetermine or mark out beforehand. This says to establish boundaries or limits, properly pre-horizon or pre-lighten, predetermined limits. You can't see the horizon unless you're in the light. Since it says already, it means since horizo means to establish boundaries, the added prefix pro before makes proorizó to pre-establish boundaries, i.e., before creation. So we were foreordained. We're going to go back over here and we're going to look again in Luke chapter 6, verse 22. It says, blessed are ye when men shall hate you, and when they shall separate you from their company. I'm going to look at separate one more time. Separate before we get out of here. It says aphorizó, to rail off, to separate, to place apart, to separate from, to make boundaries, properly to separate from. So what do they do when they remove themselves from us if we are proorizó and we're pre-bound in the light? What do if they remove themselves from us? They separate themselves from us. They go outside the boundary of the light, do they not? That's how it works. They move themselves outside the boundary of the light. And by doing that, they have caused a separation between us and them, or a death. So when people hate you for the name of Christ, if indeed you are telling people the truth, like they have to have a daily cross, like they can't just accept Christ and walk down an aisle and think it's done. You have to tell them the truth, like Christmas is pagan, that Easter is pagan, that all the holidays that they celebrate in this world are of pagan origins. And pagan means many gods. We don't have many gods. There's one God. You got to tell these people the truth. You can't just tell them that Jesus died on a cross. That doesn't seem like foolishness to anyone. But to tell them they have to die to self and to give up this world and the things and stuff that they've been craving their entire lives and not worry about retirement and start storing up things, treasures in heaven, they think that's foolishness, and they'll separate you from their company for that. And they will separate you from their company. They will literally give you a thanatos, a death, a physical or spiritual separation. You're going to stay in the light, and they're going to move on out into the darkness away from you. Because men love the darkness because their deeds are evil. Love you all, brothers and sisters. Hope you have a blessed, wonderful day. Stay strong in the Lord. Jesus loves you.